What if I told you that someone cannot stop thinking about you right now, yet circumstances are keeping the two of you apart? This is not just another crush, passing attraction, or random coincidence. There is a reason this person keeps appearing in your thoughts, and there is a reason letting go feels impossible. Somewhere between silence and longing, a powerful connection is still alive. The strange part is that the distance between you may not be caused by a lack of feelings at all. In fact, it could be the opposite. Today, we are going to explore the hidden psychology behind this bond, why it feels so intense, why it refuses to fade, and what it may be trying to awaken within both of you. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you understand this connection and yourself. There is someone who cannot seem to stop thinking about you, yet, for reasons beyond either of your control, being together with them is not possible right now. Deep down, you already sense that there is truth in this. Even if your mind tries to dismiss it, pay attention for a moment. What you are hearing is not meaningless, and it is not something your imagination created. The person who suddenly came into your thoughts did not appear there without a reason. Between you and them exists a quiet but powerful bond. It is the kind of connection that neither person can fully explain, nor easily walk away from. It goes far beyond a passing thought or temporary attraction. It is steady, deep, and impossible to completely ignore. They feel drawn toward you in a way that is both intense and carefully restrained. These emotions are unfamiliar to them, feelings they never expected to experience so strongly. Yet despite everything they feel, something continues to stand between you. There is a barrier that makes this connection seem impossible, or at least difficult to embrace. Understanding why that barrier exists may completely change the way you view every thought, feeling, and interaction connected to this person. Even though distance separates you, someone out there remains deeply focused on you. The connection is real, but circumstances make it feel forbidden or out of reach. There are two important truths hidden within this situation, and understanding them can help make sense of everything you have been feeling. Take a moment and listen closely. If these words resonate with something inside you, it may be because this message arrived at exactly the right time. The person who keeps appearing in your mind is there for a reason, whether they are someone from your present or someone who repeatedly enters your thoughts without explanation. The bond you share goes much deeper than ordinary affection. This is not a fleeting emotion. It is not a temporary fascination that fades after a few weeks. It is something lasting, something that quietly remains beneath the surface no matter how much time passes. They are attracted to you, but not in an impulsive or dramatic way. Their feelings are controlled, guarded, and deeply held. Yet despite the love that exists, something prevents the connection from moving forward. The restrictions surrounding this relationship reveal important truths. They explain why the attraction feels so powerful, why distance remains between you, and why neither of you seems fully able to move ahead or completely let go. Before going any further, understand something important. A connection that feels blocked or restricted is not usually weak. In many cases, it is the exact opposite. The strongest emotional bonds often appear during the most complicated circumstances. These connections are rarely born from boredom, loneliness, or simple attraction. They emerge from a deeper level of recognition. Something within one person sees something meaningful within the other. This individual did not intentionally decide to fall for you. It happened gradually. First, you were simply someone they noticed. Over time, you became someone they admired, then someone they trusted. Before they fully understood what was happening, you became the person they could not stop thinking about. The obstacle is not a lack of feelings. The obstacle is everything surrounding those feelings. Timing, responsibilities, commitments, fears, expectations, and personal values all create pressure. This leads to the first important truth. This person lives with an internal conflict because of you. They are not fighting against you. They are struggling with what they feel. Many mornings begin with thoughts of you, followed immediately by reasons why they should push those thoughts away. They replay conversations in their mind, and then criticize themselves for enjoying those memories. They imagine what life might look like if circumstances were different, only to quickly shut those thoughts down. The fear is not the emotion itself. The fear is what those emotions could mean for the life they have built. For some people, existing commitments stand in the way. For others, family expectations, cultural traditions, social obligations, or personal values create boundaries they are unwilling to cross. Sometimes one person is simply unavailable in a way that makes the situation far more complicated. Sometimes the connection challenges everything they believed they wanted from life. As a result, they hold themselves back. Instead of speaking openly, they remain silent. Instead of moving closer, they keep their distance. Instead of acting on what they feel, they watch quietly from afar. Many people misunderstand silence. They assume silence means the absence of emotion. Often the opposite is true. Sometimes silence exists because the feelings are so powerful that expressing them feels dangerous. This person is not emotionally detached when it comes to you. Their feelings run deep. They simply choose to carry them privately. Speaking might open a door they fear they cannot close. Taking action might force them to face consequences they are not prepared for. Getting closer might reveal truths they have worked hard to hide, even from themselves. As discussed often on Jungian vision, the more a person tries to suppress something meaningful, the stronger it tends to become. That is exactly what is happening here. Every attempt to ignore the connection only strengthens it. Every effort to create distance makes the bond feel tighter. Every denial pushes the emotion deeper rather than removing it. Buried feelings rarely disappear. Instead, they continue growing beneath the surface. This may explain the strange shifts in energy you occasionally sense. It may explain why thoughts of this person appear unexpectedly. It may explain why their presence seems to linger even when they are nowhere near you. Unexpressed emotions have a way of remaining active. They wait quietly beneath awareness. As Jungian vision often teaches, what remains hidden within the unconscious continues influencing our lives until it is acknowledged. Much of what connects you and this person exists in that hidden space. It has not been spoken aloud, resolved, or fully understood. Because it remains beneath the surface, it creates tension, longing, emotional intensity, and inner conflict. While the outside world sees someone calm and composed, behind that calm exterior, they continue carrying thoughts of you in silence. On the surface, they may appear calm, stable, and completely in control. Yet beneath that composed exterior, there is an ongoing battle. One moment they feel pulled toward you, and the next, they force themselves to step back. This conflict does not exist because you are unimportant to them. In fact, it exists because you matter far more than they are comfortable admitting. The thought of what this connection could change creates fear within them. They worry about disrupting the life they have carefully built. They worry about crossing personal boundaries, challenging long-held beliefs, or opening a door that can never be closed again. If you have ever experienced this kind of quiet, unspoken connection with someone, then you understand how exhausting that inner struggle can become. It explains why the bond sometimes feels heavy, despite the absence of direct communication. It explains why separation never seems to bring complete peace. The connection remains alive even when nothing is being said. As often discussed on Jungian vision, when two people truly meet on a deep psychological level, both are transformed by the encounter. Neither person walks away unchanged. Whether you realize it or not, simply knowing each other has altered something fundamental within both of you. Something inside you shifted the moment this connection entered your life. The same is true for them. This is not fantasy, wishful thinking, or imagination. It is not something that survives because of habit or routine. It remains because it carries real meaning. Time alone cannot erase what has genuinely changed you. In a connection like this, control is not the driving force. There is no desire to dominate, manipulate, or play games. That is part of what makes it so confusing. Neither of you expected these feelings. Neither of you planned for them. Yet here they are, asking to be acknowledged while refusing to fit neatly into everyday life. By now, one thing should be becoming clear. You are not simply a temporary distraction in their story. You are not a mistake they can forget. You are not someone who can be replaced by another person. You have become part of a deeper journey that is encouraging both of you to see yourselves more honestly. As time passes, The true purpose of this complicated bond continues revealing itself little by little, with patience and precision. If these words are still holding your attention, it may be because you are willing to explore truths that many people spend their lives avoiding. Often people turn away from insights like this, not because they are false, but because they strike too close to something real. As this understanding deepens, another truth becomes impossible to ignore. This connection does not behave like ordinary attraction. Distance does not weaken it. Logic does not dissolve it. Problems do not make it disappear. Instead, it follows both of you quietly. It lingers like a shared shadow created by the meeting of two lives. You may notice that even during your busiest days, when your attention is focused elsewhere, thoughts of this person appear unexpectedly. You are not deliberately reaching for them. Something unresolved continues rising from beneath the surface. The same thing is happening for them. They may appear fully absorbed in work, family responsibilities, routines, and daily obligations. To everyone around them, they seem unaffected. Yet the human mind naturally returns to what feels unfinished. They remember how easily they could be themselves around you. They remember feeling understood without needing endless explanations. They remember the strange sense of familiarity, as if they had known you much longer than they actually had. They remember moments that carried more meaning than either of you intended. That is exactly what makes the experience so unsettling. Once someone has felt deeply seen, that experience cannot simply be erased. It becomes part of them. Many people misunderstand connections like this. They assume distance means one person cares less. In reality, distance is often created by the opposite. Sometimes feelings become so powerful that they force people to retreat. This person senses that moving even slightly closer to you could change everything. They feel that honesty would lead them towards something permanent, something life-altering. Yet they are not ready to dismantle the structure of the life they have spent years building, even if that structure no longer reflects who they are becoming. So they choose what feels safer. They choose control over vulnerability. They choose familiarity over uncertainty. They choose the discomfort they understand rather than the truth they have not fully embraced. But every choice carries a cost. Suppressing emotions does not make them disappear. It simply changes the form they take. The feelings may emerge as restlessness. They may show up as distraction, dissatisfaction, or a growing sense that something important is missing. Relationships that once felt secure may suddenly seem incomplete. Answers that once brought comfort may no longer satisfy them. They may not consciously connect these changes to you, but your presence becomes a silent reference point within their inner world. You represent a level of emotional honesty they have not yet fully allowed themselves to live. That is why this connection feels unfinished. It is not only about longing for another person. It is about standing at the edge of personal transformation. And you are experiencing it too. Since meeting this person, something inside you has shifted. Your standards have changed. What you seek in relationships has become clearer. Situations you once accepted without question may now feel empty or lacking. You may find yourself less willing to settle for emotional distance, less interested in surface-level connections, more aware of the difference between genuine depth and simple convenience. That awareness did not appear by accident. It emerged through recognition. This is where the deeper meaning begins to reveal itself. The purpose of this connection is not only desire, it is awakening. Some relationships are meant to build a life together. Others arrive to awaken hidden parts of the self. This connection belongs primarily to the second category. That does not mean it can never become more. It simply means that its most important work is already happening within you. You encountered this person at a moment when your inner world was ready to change. And they met you during a period when, deep inside, they had already begun questioning the path they were on, even if they never spoke those doubts aloud to anyone. That is why this connection can feel incredibly powerful and deeply confusing at the same time. In many ways, you serve as mirrors for one another. You reflect the hidden parts they have spent years keeping out of sight, while they awaken pieces of yourself that have been waiting quietly beneath the surface. Connections like this rarely follow ordinary rules. They do not arrive on a schedule, and they do not reveal themselves through obvious signs. Instead, they work slowly and patiently, reshaping your priorities, your values, and your understanding of what truly matters. At first, you may not even recognize the impact they are having on you. They slip quietly beneath the surface of everyday life, influencing the way you think, the choices you make, and the standards you set for yourself and others. Unlike fleeting attractions or temporary passions, these connections are not sustained by constant excitement. Their influence runs deeper. They challenge old beliefs, expose hidden fears, and encourage growth in areas of your life that may have remained untouched for years. They teach you lessons about patience, trust, vulnerability, and self-awareness. Often, the greatest changes happen not in moments of closeness, but during periods of distance, uncertainty, or reflection. Over time, you begin to notice that your perspective has shifted. Things that once seemed important lose their hold on you. Priorities that were built around external validation gradually give way to a stronger desire for authenticity, meaning, and emotional truth. You become less interested in chasing approval and more interested in understanding yourself. The connection becomes a mirror, revealing not only who the other person is, but who you are becoming. This is why such bonds can feel so significant. Their purpose is not merely to create feelings. Their purpose is transformation. They invite you to grow beyond old limitations and to develop a deeper understanding of love, relationships, and your own inner world. Whether the connection ultimately remains, changes form, or fades with time, its influence leaves a lasting mark. It reshapes the way you see yourself, the way you relate to others, and the way you define what truly matters in life. If this message has reached you at the right moment, leave 1011 in the comments. Within symbolic traditions and the meaningful patterns explored through Jungian vision, repeating numbers often represent moments when something hidden begins moving into awareness. They symbolize recognition, alignment, and the meeting of forces that have been quietly approaching one another for a long time. That is why even the silence between you feels alive. Nothing may be happening on the surface, yet beneath it there is movement. Energy remains active. Something continues unfolding behind the scenes. You may wonder why letting go feels so difficult, why logic alone cannot end the connection, why repeatedly telling yourself that nothing can come from it never seems to bring lasting peace. The answer is simple. This bond is not sustained by fantasy. It continues because it points toward a truth that has not yet been fully understood or fully lived. When something touches you deeply enough, it becomes part of who you are. It cannot simply be forgotten. You are not only holding on to a person, you are holding on to an experience that revealed a new level of emotional clarity within yourself. And they are moving through a similar process. This does not mean you should place your life on hold. It does not mean waiting endlessly for something uncertain. It does not mean sacrificing the present in exchange for hope about the future. Instead, it invites you to understand what this connection is trying to teach. It is showing you how deeply you are capable of feeling. It is showing you the kind of connection that energizes rather than drains. It is reminding you that meaningful emotions often exist beyond convenience, comfort, and certainty. Whether they acknowledge it or not, the same lesson is unfolding inside them. What happens next cannot be forced. No amount of wishing can speed it up. No amount of chasing can make it arrive sooner. No amount of silence can erase it. This kind of bond only reaches its full potential when honesty becomes stronger than fear. Until then, it exists in an in-between space, not fully absent, yet not fully expressed, alive in thoughts, alive in emotions, alive in those quiet moments when truth speaks softly rather than demanding attention. As time moves forward, the tension inside them will continue growing. The conflict between who they have always been and who they are becoming cannot remain unresolved forever. The same transformation is happening within you. Eventually, change becomes unavoidable because once awareness awakens, it cannot return to ignorance. When that change arrives, it will not happen because someone wanted it badly enough. It will happen because both people have become ready for it. Readiness rarely arrives with dramatic declarations. More often, it develops quietly. It grows through discomfort. It grows through reflection. It grows through the realization that something inside no longer matches the life being lived outside. For them, this often begins with subtle cracks in the old structure of their life. Roles they once carried comfortably begin to feel heavy. Responsibilities that once seemed unquestionable begin to feel restrictive. Patterns that once brought satisfaction begin to feel empty, even when everything appears fine from the outside. You are not responsible for creating those cracks. You simply illuminated what was already there. You did not create instability within their world. You helped reveal areas that were already out of alignment. That is why this connection feels dangerous to them, not because it threatens their safety, but because it challenges the identity they have carefully constructed over time. Many people build comfortable lives around assumptions, expectations, and beliefs they never fully examine. Truth asks more of us. Truth requires honesty. Truth requires courage. Truth demands that we look directly at what we feel and decide whether we are willing to live according to it. Most people are not immediately ready for that challenge, so they postpone it. They create explanations. They convince themselves the feelings are temporary. They tell themselves they are imagining things. They hope the connection will fade if they ignore it long enough. Yet truly meaningful bonds rarely disappear through avoidance. Instead, they build pressure beneath the surface. The pressure grows quietly until it can no longer be contained. This may explain why you sometimes feel intense closeness followed by sudden distance, why they occasionally seem emotionally present and then unexpectedly retreat, why you can sense a connection even during long periods of silence. This push and pull pattern is not necessarily about uncertainty regarding you. It reflects a deeper struggle taking place within them. They stand between the person they have always known themselves to be and the person they are slowly becoming. And in many ways, you represent that doorway. You symbolize the point where growth, truth, and transformation begin. At the same time, something equally important is happening within you. You are developing a sharper understanding of relationships. You are learning the difference between temporary emotional intensity and genuine alignment. You are discovering the gap between surface attraction and a connection rooted in something much deeper. As Jungian vision often explores, some encounters arrive not to control your life, but to illuminate it. This connection did not appear to trap you. It appeared to bring greater awareness. You may already notice certain changes. Superficial attention may no longer satisfy you the way it once did. Seeking approval from others may feel less important than before. You may find yourself craving authenticity instead of appearances, depth instead of distraction, and genuine understanding instead of temporary validation. That shift is not accidental. It is one of the clearest signs that this connection has already begun fulfilling its deeper purpose. You are learning that making yourself smaller to fit someone else's limits is no longer acceptable. This connection has helped you discover self-respect, emotional clarity, and a deeper understanding of what genuine connection feels like. Once you have experienced being truly seen, you cannot pretend it does not matter. Whether this relationship becomes lasting or remains unfinished, it has already fulfilled an important purpose. It has strengthened your awareness, sharpened your intuition, and shown you what truly matters in love. The timing may feel difficult, but timing is often preparation rather than punishment. Sometimes people meet not to be together immediately, but to grow individually first. Right now, both of you are being asked to face deeper truths within yourselves. Your task is not to wait endlessly, but to keep growing, living fully, and honoring your worth. Real clarity comes through authenticity, not force. As Jungian vision teaches, awareness changes everything. You are no longer losing yourself trying to solve this connection. Instead, you are becoming stronger, calmer, and more grounded. True love does not require confusion or self-sacrifice. Whether this person remains or not, this bond has already awakened something valuable within you, and that transformation will stay with you forever. So if there is one thing to remember, it is this. This connection entered your life for a reason. Whether it eventually becomes a shared future or remains a meaningful chapter, it has already changed you. It has awakened parts of yourself that were waiting to be seen. It has taught you the value of honesty, self-respect, and emotional truth. You do not need to force an outcome. You do not need to chase answers. What is meant to become clear will reveal itself through time, choices, and growth. Until then, trust the transformation already taking place within you. The greatest gift of this connection is not the other person. It is the person you are becoming because of it. You are learning to trust yourself, honor your feelings, and recognize what truly aligns with your heart. As Jungian vision reminds us, the most powerful transformations often begin in silence, long before they appear in the outside world. Keep moving forward, keep growing, keep choosing truth over fear. Whatever happens next, this connection has already fulfilled its deepest purpose. It has awakened you. And once a soul awakens to its own truth, life is never the same again.